What is up? Episode 47 of the Splat Sports Podcast. G-Russ, Hunt McCoe, Barrett's writing a paper. We're back. We're hopefully going to be doing a regular schedule here. We've been behind a little bit, but we're back. We've got a lot to talk about today, G-Russ. We've got let's jump to the Masters. The Masters were this past weekend. It's our favorite time of year, at least one of my favorite times of years. And Rory finally gets it done. He's a career Grand Slammer, sixth one of all time. Wins the Masters after dramatic. He almost blew it. Looked like me chipping a little bit out there. Not gonna lie. You got an entire green to play. Let's chip it short. That's the play right there. Rory wins. I think 12 under. I think was the final, or it might be 11 under.
10 or 11. 11, I think.
I think it was 11. He faced not Pete Rose, Derek Rose. There we go. Justin Rose.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
One of those.
Justin Rose.
Justin Rose. Never been a big fan of Justin Rose, but he wins it, or he doesn't win it. He comes in second. Overall, really good tournament. I enjoyed it. We're going to talk about the tournament overall, but I think Rory deserved it. It was between him and DeChambeau going into the Sunday. I like DeChambeau, but I think Rory should have. I'm glad that it's finally over and that we don't go into every Masters being like, oh, is Rory going to win it? He won it. That's done. Woohoo. We can move on to someone else. Just your kind of thoughts on Rory?
I agree with 100% what you said. I wasn't for him because, Bryson, I think he's always had the better personality. He's on YouTube. It's easier to interact with him. So I wasn't really for Rory exactly, but at the end against Justin Rose, you kind of had to root for him. He's the sixth there to get the career Grand Slam, and he did deserve it. And you saw how much it meant to him at the end, which is great for him. I do feel a little bit for Justin Rose. He's I think 44, 45 years old, and he's gone second the past two majors, which is bad, but he handled it great, which is good for him. I think his time may be coming, maybe even at the British Open, because that's where he's from and everything, and he's used to those conditions, and he's playing the best golf of his life. So that's good for him. I think Bryson, he did fall apart at the end, but I thought it was really he didn't play great the whole week, in my opinion. He was missing greens left and right, and he's often said he is a scrambling guy, trying to get up and down a ton. So I'm interested to see when he's playing his best how good he can really be, because if his irons were just somewhat decent, he could have won this thing by 5, 6, 7 strokes. So I'm interested to see how the PGA Championship will go in a few weeks in May.
Yeah, Rory tried to lose it, but there were a ton of other guys in there too. I know Scotty made a late push. Ludwig Oberg, big fan of him. He made it interesting there towards the end. Kind of blew up, double bogeyed, I think. Triple bogeyed.
Triple at the end, but he was just kind of
on 17, I think.
Yeah, make something happen out of nothing. That's what he had to
do. So I always love the Masters. I think a dream place to go. I think it's just a really cool atmosphere. Yes, Juras.
I actually have a question. I saw this on Instagram, thought it was interesting.
All right.
Would you rather have lifetime tickets to the Masters? You may have saw this, or would you rather be able to play it once? Because I have struggled with this.
I think I would rather be there every year.
That's fair.
Instead of having, because if I go and play it, I'm gonna be in a bad mood. I'm always in a bad mood playing golf. So I'd rather be there. I can go buy all the stuff. I can watch it all. I think I would enjoy that more. Now, if I was a bit better at golf,
you're more like my caliber, would you say? Playing maybe a little better. Yeah, I would just like to play just to go to hole, I think 12, had the exact same shot as Rory and say, I hit it on the green. I feel like that would be funny to say. And then I've always loved hole 15, so I would love to play that. I'd probably play it, but Rory shot 15, that's probably the best shot I've ever seen in my life, that of watching golf. So, yeah.
Yep. That's the Masters. Interested to see kind of what this does. I think Rory's going to keep winning. I think he might win one more, maybe another. Not a major. I don't think he wins another major this year, but who knows? I was honestly kind of shocked how Scotty played. It just kind of felt like he was fighting an uphill battle the entire time, and it
Mhm.
just wasn't his day. And even though it wasn't his day, he was still 9 under at the Masters. So
Yeah.
he's a really good golfer. I think that he has a lot of success. There's always like 2 or 3 guys that are always right there. Jason Day, I know he always makes the final cut. I know Xander Schauffele. He was in there for a little bit. It's just interesting. There were some interesting names. John Rahm, horrible tournament. My guy had a really bad tournament. A lot of the live guys though had great tournaments, and it also brings attention to they need to combine like soon because it's killing golf. It's killing some of these players. I know Brooks Koepka has not been the same guy since he left the PGA.
Justin Johnson is not.
Justin Johnson. I mean, watching Justin Johnson play it was quite sad. So
Yeah.
that's the Masters. We will see you there. See you next year. It'll be fun. I enjoy the Masters. Um, let's jump to the NBA. The playoffs are here. We've got playing games this week. I think tomorrow. Correct?
Yes,
Correct me if
first
I'm
two are
wrong.
tomorrow.
Oklahoma, the Thunder, Cavs, 1 seeds, Rockets, Celtics, 2 seeds. I believe Lakers, Knicks, 3 seeds,
Sir.
Nuggets, Pacers, 4 seeds, Clippers, Bucks, 5 seeds. 6 seeds are the Timberwolves and Pistons, and then playing. There's 4 playing teams: the Kings, Mavericks, Warriors, Grizzlies, and for the East, Bulls, Heat, Hawks, and Magic. They're here. I enjoy the playing games. A lot of people say like, "Oh, it's just the same teams every year." Not wrong, but it makes it interesting, and I enjoy it. But let's jump into the best playoff series, US, and there's an obvious answer I feel, and it's in the West, but I'm not gonna let you take it because I'm gonna take it. So you're gonna have
Okay,
to pick
that's
something
fine with
different.
me.
I'm gonna pick the Lakers and Timberwolves. I think that the teams match up.
Lakers at 5.
I,
I
I think
already
that
made a full prediction for some reason because I was bored. I'm gonna post on TikTok, or I'm gonna post first round on TikTok because you got to engagement farm a little bit.
oh Lord, you're good at
Yeah.
that. I It's interesting because both these teams, you got LeBron, you got Luca, you got Julius Randle.
Don't
There you
compare
go.
Luka to Julius Randle.
I wasn't. I was just throwing out names. Um, I think that the Lakers will win this series with ease, in my opinion. But it's just interesting to see another one. If you're not going to take it, is your other one in the West too?
Um, well, you go ahead and say yours because I'll
I was
after.
going to say the other Los Angeles team playing Denver. I think is another interesting one, just because you have the best player in the league in Nikola Jokic, uh, but you also don't have a head coach. So it's tough. The Clippers, though, I don't know how they stop Jokic. That's the big thing for them. So, Juris, what's your best playoff series? Let's hear your opinion here.
I'll be honest. I think I love every series, especially in the West. Maybe except the Cavs and whoever they play, unless they get match up with the Heat and Eric Spoelstra or something. I think that could be it's right. But the West, the whole thing is loaded. I mean, you could have the Warriors playing the Thunder,
Yeah,
which I mean, which is just insane. And then you even have a team like Memphis who could play the Rockets and upset the Rockets pretty easily because the Rockets don't have true star power. They just play great defense. So I'm excited for everything in the West. Like Hunter said, I think the Nuggets and Clippers are the best. I think that the Lakers, I just think the Wolves don't have enough star power. Like I'm trying to not be biased here, but I mean it's ants, and I mean Julius Randle hasn't played good in the playoffs in his career. Rudy Gobert. his play style kind of hurts teams, especially when teams go small against him. We saw that last year with what Luka did to them. Um, I'll go to the East for my favorite here. I think we need to get some East love here. I'm it. I think the Bucks and Pacers could be a great series, just because it's kind of opposite play styles almost. I think the Bucks want to go more slow with Giannis and then their big team, whereas the Pacers don't play defense. They're all offense. They're fast paced, and they're gonna want to get out running and shoot a ton of threes like they did last year. That's how they won all their series. And then I think my sleeper series is Pistons and Knicks. Everybody knows I'm high on Kate Cunningham. I love the way he's playing. I feel like he's carried his team this year with Malik Beasley playing good. So I think you'll see him. I think I have Pistons beating the Knicks, and then I think I have Bucks beating Pacers in 7.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see those two out of the East, especially. But the West, I think this year's going to be great for the playoffs as a whole.
Yeah. Bucks Pacers played before. I think they played last year, right? Semifinals
Uh,
or 2 years ago.
I
I
I
think it
think
was last
they
year.
yeah,
Because
Pacers
the Pacers
Pacers
beat them, and then they faced the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes,
well, they beat the Knicks first.
beat the Knicks, then beat Bucks. Saying semifinals, but
Yeah.
I don't know. NBA playoffs are always enjoyable to watch. Celtics got the Hawks or the Magic. Don't
Trae
know how
Young.
that goes. Yeah, I'm not scared of Trae Young.
Bulls have hit a hot streak too. So
Yeah. Let's jump over to college football, where the world has been set on fire. Nico Iamaleava has left the University of Tennessee. More of a parting of ways. Entered the transfer portal. There's a lot to be said about this, and a lot to be thought of and brought up. Here's my 2 cents on it. I don't hate Nico. I don't hate Nico for this decision. I think that his representatives and his parents had a big part to do with this, and that you shouldn't blame the 20-year-old kid for this. It sucks, I'll tell you that much, but I also think that he also hurt himself a lot, because it's your character. That's a lot of things, and there are reports that he maybe necessarily didn't handle it the best either while he was there. Say what you want about the guy. I think that his parents, representatives, really had more to blame than this. But as for him, North Carolina was the team that a lot of people thought he was going to. Then today, South Alabama's quarterback, Gio, it starts with an L, entered the transfer portal. He's now rumored to go to North Carolina, which means Nico would be out. I could see him going to UCLA. I could see him going to Texas Tech. Notre Dame doesn't want him. But Juris, your kind of thought. We're going to talk about the NIL situation, the entire situation, the next thing. But your kind of thoughts on Nico and what he's
yeah,
gotten
I
himself
agree
into.
100% with what you said. My favorite sports kind of social media guy is Josh Pate. I've always loved
Yes,
what his thoughts and everything, and he kind of fired everybody on Twitter because he said no one wins here, and everybody's like, "Oh, Tennessee, they did the right thing and everything." But it's true, no one wins. Tennessee, you lose your 5-star quarterback, arguably the number 1 player in the class rated, so that's terrible. I do agree with you. I think it's like 30% Nico, 70% his reps and his family and everything. So I do feel terrible for him, but he didn't handle it the best, and I think that's bad. But what Tennessee did was 100% what you have to do. You can't, because if Nico would have got what he wanted, then you would see that all across the league, all across the SEC and everything. And should Tennessee paid him? I mean, 4 mil for a SEC court, that really isn't a ton nowadays. So like
not a
you
ton,
could,
but
yeah, but like for his like if he was what he was supposed, if he was what he's supposed to be this year, then it would have been a bargain, honestly.
yeah,
So, I mean, I don't blame Tennessee. I blame Nico's family, not him himself. But I do hope the best for him. That's
yeah,
not as much his reps.
I do too. I think that you also have a fan base that can be a little brutal. Um, so it's a sucky situation for both sides, as you said, and I do think Tennessee letting him walk does set a precedent. And also coaches saying like, "Hey, this guy's shopping around." I think that also helps too. Of course, coaches don't want to get tagged with tampering, but There you go. Let's talk about NIL though, because a lot of people, it's been a conversation, and it's something that I have written many research papers on in high school and done many PowerPoints on, just because I'm fascinated with it and how it works. In reality, the players have all the power, which I'm not saying that NIL is the worst thing ever. I'm not saying that it needs to go away. The players deserve to be paid. They deserve to be paid. My bad. They deserve to be paid um, fully, and I fully support that. It sucks for a lot of guys that in the past were punished by the NCAA that in reality today would be nothing. So I do think that NIL needs to stay, but I also think that you have to provide some sort of framework or some sort of period. You're going to have to turn it into an NFL free agency essentially, and that's what recruiting is going to be, and that's what the transfer portal is going to be. I think that you also have to move the transfer portal window past the college football playoff and past bowl season. While that does hurt smaller prospects and all that, it creates a same time window for everyone. Because if you're in the college football playoff, and we saw it during this college football playoff, and even now with reports coming out from teams saying like there were guys saying you better pay us or we're going to leave. It I hate that, and I think that I think that the NCAA does need to do something really quick. It's going to be hard to do it really quick, though. It's been a Wild West, and it's going to remain a Wild West, sadly, for the meantime. But your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. NIL needs to be a thing. I think that the biggest issue is when NCAA passed it, it was good. There was no guideline or anything, and everybody talks about NCAA is probably not going to be a thing in a decade, maybe possibly. So I think the best thing to do is move to a collective bargaining style agreement to where you have like the MLBPA and NBAPA. Hopefully, it's not like the MLBPA where they just hate the MLB, but something closer
Yeah,
to the NBAPA or the NFL. Actually, not so much NFL; they're always complaining too. Something more like the NBAPA to where you have like a kind of like you like elect college players and they kind of bring what their teams want into a collective bargaining to where that way maybe there's a cap on maybe NI or like a budget or something. You have to report all these costs to the other side of the NCAA football. And I think that would be best, especially so that way, we change the transfer portal because teams are still playing. And that's the same with basketball too. I mean, all these teams and stuff are just trying to get players, and we got teams playing the national championship Final Four. So I think that a CBA is by far the best way to go about this because right now it's Pandora's box, really. I mean, and there's a low chance of us closing it, but I still think there's time if you can get a CBA style agreement in place.
and the thing I don't understand is that there's CBAs between schools and conferences and
Yeah,
TV deals, and the NCAA has done that. I think each conference gets 20 million, I think, for student athletes, which is a drop in the pan. So it doesn't really matter in the long term, and I do hate that, and I do think that there are needed regulations, and a situation like this does bring attention to it because in the long term, it's going to result in guys getting screwed over because their representative or their agent wants them to get more money, and when in reality, you're not going to get that money from other places. So it sucks. It's a lose lose situation. It's one of those two negatives don't make a positive. So yeah, let's finish college football with saw this today. Thought it was a little interesting. Shadur Sanders, Travis Hunter are going to be immortalized by having their numbers retired, is what Colorado said. Number 2 and number 12. A little too soon, Juras?
I think that gosh, I think I fully understand Travis Hunter. Like,
Yes. Travis
guy
Hunter,
won the
I think,
Heisman.
deserves to get his number
Yes,
retired.
guy is like one of two people ever to do what he can do. He hasn't done that at the NFL level yet, but he did in college, and that's just saying
Yeah.
enough there. Shador, come on, man. Like, great. I mean, I think he'll be better than what people say he was this. Yes, I think he'll be a serviceable quarterback. I think he has the ability to.
Yes.
But when you look at other people when you look at the NCAA football, Hendon Hooker will not
No.
get his jersey retired, and he did way more in his career than what Shedeur did. In my opinion. I mean, what they got 8-4 this year, 9-3.
Yeah. Somewhere
I
in
mean,
there.
we're retiring someone's jersey who went 8-4. I mean, we can make argument Hunter McCormick's Maryville High School jersey should get
Whoa,
retired at that
whoa,
point.
whoa, 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 now, pal.
I just think that I hate pulling the dad card because my favorite player ever pulls the dad card ever in the NBA. But he had a great year, but it's because they didn't run the ball. Like, I mean, if you could throw me out there, they would start running the ball better than. So I think that this is his dad a little bit, as much as I hate saying it, because my favorite player ever does the same thing.
And it's not like he was a bad quarterback either.
Yeah, he
Like
was very good
he was
quarterback.
in the top. He was probably I would say a top 5 quarterback in college football this year.
Yes, 100%. But he went 8-4.
Yes. And there's going to be guys. Has Joe Burrow got his number retired yet? I don't think so.
No, but if he doesn't,
He
that's
will. He will. He has a guy who's never retired yet. I don't think Johnny Manziel's got his number retired yet.
yeah. But in college football, I feel like you don't see it as much though either,
You don't, but there's
as you should.
also the dude also just got done playing for Colorado 6 months ago. So just a little too quick, I think.
Yeah.
Travis
Yeah,
Hunter
like
Travis Hunter deserves to get his number retired, and I think that this is a little too soon for his number to get retired, but does deserve it.
yeah, I agree. I think that, but like, yeah, I agree 100%. But and then you look like in Ohio State team where it's like, who's the best player on that team? Walker
Dude,
Howard's not getting retired.
no.
Caleb Downs probably won't unless he wins like the best
Unless he
whatever.
wins a Heisman, I think. I don't
Yeah,
think
or
he'd
he
get
wear
retired.
I don't know what the safety award is called if he wins that a couple times. So I think, which to be fair, Colorado, I can tell you 3 players who played for Colorado in football. So it's like I guess they're trying to get recruiting more up. Say oh, you could be an extra Shador Sanders and have your jersey up here or something. But I mean,
Yeah.
I understand
Just
for
a smart
Colorado.
play. Smart play for recruiting, but
Yeah, I mean, I understand why Colorado did it. I mean, I don't know if they have a jersey retired. So good for them, I guess. Good for Travis Hunter. I'll say that
good for
he deserves it.
so yeah. Also, rest in peace, Kyron Lacey. Forgot
Yes.
about that. Mental health matters. Check up on your people there, people. Let's jump to MLB, where the captain is now Captain America, GRS. Aaron Judge commits to Team USA, named the Team USA captain. He didn't play last year. He said how he regretted it and how he would be interested in playing in 2026. He will be. I love it. I think that it's cool that he's getting to do that. I think that he deserves it. I saw people that did not think that he deserved to be named captain. A lot of people saying Mookie Betts, Mike Trout. Say what you want. It's a big get for Team USA in reality. But that Team USA 2026 lineup could be spicy there,
That coaching
GS.
staff is insane.
The
The
coaching
coaching,
staff's
they
insane
really
too.
want to bring it back. Yeah, I think that it should be Mike Trout. I'm not because I think that he's done just so
But he was
much.
also at last. He was also at last time.
Yeah, and I understand that fully and everything. I think that I mean, he's just so. I mean, he after his 5th year, he had more career WAR than Derek Jeter. I will forever think that is insane. I'm not trying to disrespect Derek Jeter. I'm not trying to disrespect the Yankees. I've just always thought that was insane to me. Um, I think that I mean, Aaron Judge, he's probably the best American baseball player in the world right now. If we don't, so I can't really. But I think Mike Trout would have been more of a fan favorite. And I think that's what more of USA would want than a Yankee because it's like the Lakers. You either love them or you hate them. So it's like I think Mike Trout is universally loved, and I think that would have been the correct decision in my opinion. But Aaron Judge, I mean, he deserves it, so I can't really hate. It's like Rory McIlroy. Like
Yeah,
I wasn't cheering for him, but he
can't be
deserves it.
mad at it. You can't be mad at it.
Yeah, I can't be mad.
But yeah, Team USA lineup does look pretty interesting. Bobby Wick, Gunnar Henderson could be in there. Nothing's been confirmed, but
Braves aren't good right now, so I can't really say a Braves name.
I don't know who on the Braves would play for Team USA. I don't think y'all
Austin Riley could probably make an argument.
for third base. I'm thinking more
Uh-huh.
Bregman.
Well, he could play second.
Sure.
Well,
Well, no. Well, you got Mookie. Where Mookie
he
go?
plays wherever, dude. He can play wherever he wants. He can play catcher.
First base, I think, is Freddie.
Matt Olson has been better since
Uh-uh.
that trade happened. Don't play with my heartstrings.
Braves homer for life. Anyway, that's episode 47. This video should be out tonight because I'm going to edit it. Shocking development. Yep, there you go. Hopefully we'll get some clips too. GRS maybe doing basketball recaps. Look out for those. Jesus loves you. Peace out. Barrett will be here Wednesday maybe. If we film Wednesday, I don't know yet. Get some stuff going on. So, oh, who knows? We'll see you then. Peace out. I can't hit end. Okay, there we go.